Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. Look, we haven't seen this for some time, have we? And I haven't got the main fuselage for the aircraft. That's still over there because I don't think we're going to need it today. But I'm going to be doing stages 71 to 82. How many is that? It's a marathon build today. Although you'd think it'd be a marathon build, I've actually already done some. I'll explain shortly. Okay, I made the decision to do stages 71 to 77 off camera, and the reason for that is because we're building another engine, putting it into another nacelle, building another propeller, and then tried it out. Basically, we've done it 3 times before, and I really don't think you need to see that again on the channel. So I have done all of those stages together. Let me just show you what they look like. Did I say 3 stages? I think that was like 7 stages. But as you see, the engine is in the nacelle here with the propeller on. I have got this plugged in so I can just show you how it's working. Works absolutely perfectly. Nice and quiet as well. And then if you want it to go the other way, because, you know, I have got this on the tester board, I can just do that. It's far easier building it not on camera, I'll tell you. But it is working a treat. As a matter of fact, there is one thing that I've just noticed that I do need to do, which I didn't do. There we go, see? So I have left myself something to do, which is basically this pipe coming from the engine. Just needs to go in there. There you go. I'm happy now. So we're going to be building onto that today. Now, I don't think this is still available. I have put all my links down here so you can check that out for yourself. But without further ado, let's get cracking. And we're going to start with this massive stage 78, which is obviously the next wing that we're going to be building. Here are the instructions. And as you can see, we've got this and we've got some lights by the look of it that are going to go in. We're going to be putting the undercarriage that we created for this side, which looks just like this, onto the wing, just like that there, securing it into place, and then putting the engine we've just created in nacelle on this side as well. So this is how that's looking. Just like that. This is the rest of the magazine. So I'm just going to get this open. You might hear some buzzing. I don't know if there is a little bit of buzzing just on the back. It's because I've had to plug in my lavalier mic because it's running out of battery. Okay, so this is the wing, and the first thing I want to do is have it this way round. So this notch is facing down. I'm going to be putting the landing gear into place. So it's actually going to go in this way here. And I'm just putting it over the top inside this cavity section just here, like that. Excellent. I'll be turning it over and I'm going to be holding into place with 4 BP screws. We've got 2 in the centre as well, so there's 6 on this side. I did get a little bit confused just a second ago because I thought I had the wrong side on, but obviously I'm going to be going on this side and I've got 4 to put in this side here. And these are just in the ends. Same screws. You may have to just push into the side just to get this to fit. But that's looking good. Now, in regards to the hinges, I think we're still waiting for a 3rd set of hinges to come for this. It does open and close, it's just slightly askew, as you can see there. Now, with these cables, I want to run them down this channel just here. So, put them like this. Probably need my tweezers for this, actually. And just push them into the channel. Bring them round. Make sure they don't go anywhere near that screw hole there. So they're coming out of that side just like that. Probably best on the top camera. Okay, now we've got that in. I can put in the nacelle I've just created. Don't really need the propeller on. So I'm just going to take the propeller off. Now, having the cable thrown forward just like that, this one's going to be sitting just on the end here. Once again, I want these BP screws to hold this into place. Need 4 of these. That's looking good. We've got another engine in place here. And then with this cable, there's a notch just here. I want to put it into the notch just there, round here. So it's coming out this side, around here. Perfect. And then it's following the route of the other cables we've just put down here. Obviously, when I put the next bit on, I do want to make sure that we're not impeding that hole there. I can see that's going to be a problem. Okay, we've now got some lights which are on a circuit board here. That's just going to go into this point just here with the lights facing this way, so the lights are shining at the bottom, and again some of these BP screws to hold this in. 2 of these. Then it goes out the notch. This time it doesn't go in the channel, it's just actually just sitting kind of like on top into, there's a groove outside the channel, so not this channel, but there is a groove just here, and then once again following everything else around here. Calling this my pushing tool, but there we go. That's how that looks when that's in. Now, I was left with some FM screws, and I thought to myself, what are they for? And that's basically to attach the engine from this side as well. So I'm going to just get these in. There's 3 of these just going in from the top here. That's those 3 screws in, and look, this has come back out again. Ugh, pain. Okay, let's put this back in. And with that in, that's all there is to do in that stage. So in stage 79, I'm guessing we're going to start working on the flaps, are we? The port wing spars. We've got some lights here as well. Putting the lights in just like that and like that. And then we're putting these spars in here. So it's looking like that. So I brought this back over, and I'm just going to open the box up here. Get everything out. So first lead I need is the one that's just labelled K. You've got one labelled K, one that's labelled K1. I want the one that just says K. Get this unravelled. And when I do that channel where we run that line, I'm going to be wanting to rub this one down as well. Now, the light needs to come out a little bit of a way there. So we've got about, I don't know, 1.5 inches perhaps coming out the end. And I'm going to be tracing this wire just down here like this. Now this time, it's going to be following the route again, but it's going to be coming this way round, around the undercarriage here, and then out here. So just to help me out a bit, and this is only temporary, I am just going to put some tape just to keep that down for a minute, just while I trace this around. So that's that one in. Now, if this one's coming out the end here, I want the next one to be coming out just underneath it, sort of like here, but once again it is following this channel again. Down here, just making sure I have got enough cable, and I'll get this into place. Now I have to put bits of tape here just to hold that and train that into place like that. So that's looking good. Now I've got these spars to put in. So first one's going to be going into the position just here. So it actually goes where I put tape, to be honest with you, so I'm probably going to have to move that. This is going to add rigidity to the wing. Never can say that word. But it is going over this section, which is going to pin those cables in just there. And they're held in with GP screws. And as you can see, the result of that is it's pinned the cable down there. We're going to do exactly the same with the one here. So again, this wire here shouldn't be in this channel. This wire here should be in the channel just next to it. There. So that when I put this in, without... This is going to be a bit tricky. I don't want to bite this cable when I put a screw in. So I'm going to check that that's free, which it is, and put this screw in first. There you go. And that's holding that cable in there. Perfect. Then I'm holding the cables in from this side. So I'm just going to make sure that this is completely out of the way when I put this next spar in there. Nothing's biting. Once again, I'm going to put a screw, just one screw down here. Before you screw in, just check that there is no cables underneath where you're about to screw, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. And the second one on here like that, and I can screw that into place. Perfect. So all the cables are now locked in because of those. I do have some clips now, and they're going to be locking the cables just into these channels here. So basically they just push in to these areas on the wing just here. Now, mine fit in really tight. If they don't, use glue. But mine aren't too bad at all. But I am ensuring that we're following this channel just here, and I'm working my way along the wing to get all these in. If they don't sit in, like that one there, this is where I will use some glue. And that's perfect. They're all in place, nice cable tidy there. That's all there is to do in that stage. In stage 80, we're now doing the flaps. I thought this was coming along. Just putting these together like that, and then attaching this so far to what we've done to the wing. And this is the rest of the magazine. I think we'll probably whiz through these stages now. Okay, first thing I want to do is take this section here which says L1 and put these little rubber bushes on each side. We've got another one here, should be labelled L1 as well. And do exactly the same thing. Then I'm going to be putting these with the numbers facing up in here. So one there, one there. And I'm closing that off by putting these brackets on the tops. One there and one there. And then I've got these flange screws, which are going to hold them into position so they can't come out. And I need 4 of these. You see we've got some flange screws left over here. That's because I'm going to bring over the wing. And this is just going to be fitting on top of these points just here and here. And it's held in with 4 of these flange screws. Perfect. And with that in place, that's all there is to do in that stage. You see, I said we'd be whizzing through it. So stage 81, again, some more of the flap here, exactly the same way, creating the flap together and then putting this into place just like this. Here's the rest of the magazine. Once again, have the number facing up. This one says L2. Put the bushes on. 1 and 2. And then with these facing upwards, with the numbers facing upwards, just put these in here. 1 there and 1 there. And then I'm just putting these brackets over the top and holding them in once again with those flange screws. And then similar to what we've just done, bring this over. And this is going to be going onto the points here and here. And then the flange screws to hold these into place. And that is another stage done. And then can you believe I'm now caught up with the Lancaster build? This is stage 82, and we are now going to start making the base. So we're starting to piece things together. This is going to be big, looking like that. Okay, let's do this. Now, obviously I'm making a base for my Apache helicopter build at the moment, and this looks to be exactly the same way. As a matter of fact, these parts are looking exactly the same as well. You remember we're matching up these 3 dots here so that they're all round the right way? That's exactly what we're going to be doing. So they're all round exactly the right way, matching all of these dots up here. Matter of fact, I'm going to have it like they've got it in the pictures so I can see this. And what I'm going to do, got these brackets here, and I want to put one of these square brackets just there. One of the tidier other brackets this way round, so the ribs are facing upwards there, and do the same on these positions here and here. And then with these black flange screws I've got here, I'm going to hold all of those into place. So 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's get these in. And there you go. So that's how the base is looking at the moment. We do have this part which I'm going to leave in the pack for now because we don't actually use that. But that is all there is to do in that stage. Actually, I will show it you. That's all there is to do in those packs. So you know what, looking at what we've done, and I've just gone through all of those, I'm pretty much glad I did save them up. It's made for a bit more of a chunkier video there. But as you can see, we now have a finished wing. All my engines work absolutely perfectly. They're looking good, aren't they? But there you go. I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.